and I was born in 1890 on August 6th. And I was born in Indianola, Iowa, one of 9 children. Our father was a minister in the Presbyterian Church. I started at Drake in 1908. 8 and 4, 12, weren't they? So I graduated in 12. I don't have any idea how big it was. It was the only university in Des Moines. Drake University, I think, even in that time, had a good reputation. It was a church college at the time, but the rules weren't strict so far as I knew, and we had a good time, and it was a good school. I had some wonderful professors. Professor Denny, Professor Martin, Professor Harriet, Professor Brown. Latin was my major. When I went to high school, a freshman, and I had my first taste of Latin, I decided right then I'd be a Latin teacher. I loved it from the very first. It had many beautiful shade trees and quite a lawn and a sidewalk that went from the corner of the street up to the front door of the college, and it was a very pleasant place. I had a good time in college. I had good friends, and we had fun. We had a crowd of, by the time I was a junior, we had a very congenial crowd of students that got together and had parties and dances, and we had fun. We called ourselves the bunch. We just got together and talked and had fun, just conversing, and we always had something to eat, of course, and just had normal parties every now and then. We were busy. We two-stepped and waltzed, and some of the new dances were coming in. I remember we all learned the hesitation waltz. My brother-in-law was in the piano business, and they were also in the phonograph business. And they had the Red Seal records with Caruso and the big singers. And that was one of the joys of my life. I'd go down there and listen to the Caruso records. I didn't belong to a sorority. And so my friends mainly were non-sorority people. But we were good friends among ourselves and had fun. So we always went to the games and always went to the football games. And that Drake Relays was something that was new for the Middle West and quite a big deal. Drake was pretty good in athletics at the time. Of course, we didn't play the big colleges, but my best beau was a quarterback by the name of Frank Nagy. So I always had to see the games. I had very nice social connections. We had fun together like a family does. And I think I found that at Drake. Pleasant relationships. I had a poor education professor who didn't teach me anything. The girls who went to class with their knitting or whatever they were doing and handwork, and that was poor, but I had some very excellent professors. Professor Denny was my main professor, Latin. He was awful sloppy. He had stains, food stains on his vest, but he was a good Latin professor. He loved his Latin. And the Greek professor was Dr. Harriet, and I don't suppose there ever was a nicer gentleman. Oh, he was a fussy dresser. I remember writing a check, the first check I ever wrote, Drake. It was for $19 for a quarter. I remember I was very happy at Drake. I liked people, and I liked some of the professors very much. I enjoyed Drake very, very much. I was always proud that I graduated from there. And it's gone to town since, hasn't it?